Deal with this one, and you too as well. If you're going to be going out shopping for this weekend, try and get those errands done Saturday, as it's going to start looking a lot worse coming on up into Sunday. Well, of course, last night here on Weather Center, Dr. Forbes explained an atmospheric river and how it was going to bring huge amounts of rain and snow across the West Coast. And tonight, you think things are looking even worse, so he's here to tell us about it.
Yeah, that river is going to meander just a little bit. Now the forecast for heavy rain includes the Los Angeles area, the mountains, especially just to the north and east of Los Angeles, so flood threats there as well. A lot of subtle details in this leading to what will still be a very long, prolonged flood and heavy rain, heavy precipitation event. Here's that atmospheric river we're talking about. That's a little bit lower level flow of moisture just south of the white axis of the jet stream. It's more like the low level jet, about 5,000 feet, bangs into those west and south facing mountain slopes and the foothills, gives heavy rain and then snow in the mountaintops. Some subtle changes though. It has been stationary, this low in the Gulf of Alaska, but it's being pushed upon by what I've labeled here as a kicker. Little Alaskan system coming in from the northwest. It's jogged that little cold low pocket down a little bit south, and it's going to now get scooted east by that jet stream. That's already intensifying the cloud band just offshore of the Pacific Northwest and California. There's our first heavy rain event and precipitate event. There'll be another cold pocket coming in with the kicker itself, and that could be a Tuesday, Wednesday, a heavy precipitation event to add insult to this weekend storm injury. So we're talking about this atmospheric river continuing with several bouts of heavy precipitation. At times we'll have a couple of inches to several feet of snow per day as these waves spin inland. Most worried about the west and south facing foothills because of the mudslide threat, and some of these areas now are places that have burn areas, so debris flows a big possibility. I'm talking through Wednesday for this total amount anywhere from southwest Oregon. By the way, there could be thunderstorms in western Oregon, northwest California as well, but the green shaded areas here, 6 to 12 inches of rain, the heaviest amounts especially in those foothills that face the Pacific Ocean, and then up into the mountains top areas. We'll have 6 to 15 feet of snow, an avalanche risk, gusts to 70 miles per hour. Now, in terms of the flooding and mudslide threat, we could even see a little bit of that in some of the burn areas tonight. But the farther we go, the longer we go. Saturday night, Sunday, Monday, the flood threat will increase. And then with this prolonged event, and another one in Tuesday, Wednesday, there we could get some serious river flooding as well. So this is a serious situation for the West Coast. Please be really alert to the weather and all the weather conditions out there this weekend and early next week. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Dr. Forbes. He is going to be a busy man this weekend. Well, each Friday, we do highlight the week's weather and explain the best way for you to prepare. And in this week's Weather Ready Moments, meteorologist Kim Cunningham has advice on staying safe on icy roads and, of course, sledding hills.
Ice, and more ice coated the roadways in many parts of the southeast and mid-Atlantic this week, making this our first weather-ready moment. In places like Atlanta, roads became skating rinks, causing hundreds of accidents. Driving on ice is treacherous no matter what, but can be worse when it's black ice you can't see until it's too late. Just remember, black ice usually forms just above the freezing point. It forms most commonly at night or early morning when temperatures are low. It tends to form on less traveled roads, as well as on bridges and overpasses. And while it's difficult to spot black ice, with the right lighting, you may be able to detect its smooth, glossy nature on the road. Sledding is a fun way to enjoy some of the snow we've seen this week, but it can be very dangerous as well. A young Ohio boy found that out when he hit his head and needed emergency surgery for a brain bleed. Now, even though sledding seems tame enough, experts say everyone should wear a helmet. Do not sled head first, and watch out for obstacles buried in the snow, such as rocks. And with any injury, especially a head injury, get checked out because it's not always obvious that there is a problem. I'm meteorologist Kim Cunningham.
And you can, of course, get more weather-ready tips online at weather.com. And while you're there, you can get more on the West Coast drenching, the potential East Coast storm, and the top 10 snowiest cities. Well, don't go away. I'm going to have your complete forecast from east to west coming up next in the weekly planner. And snow is going to be plentiful in the next few days, especially in areas of the west. So make sure you send us your weather pictures and your video, like this one from Long Island, New York. Upload your video straight to our website at weather.com/eyewitness. Of course, you want to be safe while you are doing that. That is some very wintry video right there. It's getting us all in the holiday spirit, right? So again, that's weather.com/eyewitness. All right, be sure to come back and join us after your local on the 8th.
This program was brought to you by Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side.
How does vanishing deductible work?
That boulder is like your insurance deductible. Big and always hanging over your head. But vanishing deductible from Nationwide Insurance takes $100 off your deductible every year you're a safe driver until...
Amazing! You saved me.
Oh, it was just an analogy. But you're welcome. You're welcome. Oh. Nationwide is on your side. That's very good.
Were you a procrastinator?
It's not too late. All day Friday and Saturday, get Countdown to Christmas doorbusters at Sears. This Nikon 12-megapixel camera is only $89.99. Plus, 7 a.m. through noon Saturday, get an extra 10% off all tools, even sale prices. Sears, be the Santa you want to be.
What can I get for you? The Tassimo Brew Bot. 7 different beverages, one smart little bot.
True or false? Your pet is safe from fleas, ticks, and heartworms in winter. Sorry, it's false. And these guys can mean big trouble. Your pets need year-round protection, plus medications for cold weather joint pain. Fortunately, they cost a lot less at 1-800-PET-MEDS, and they're delivered free, right to your door with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. For fast service, free shipping, and big savings, call now or order online from 1-800-PET-MEDS, America's largest pet pharmacy.
We now offer phone service for $1.70 a month with Magic Jack. That's just $19.95 a year. $19.95 a year. We give you free local and long distance and your own phone number. How much could you save every month?
Over $100.
I'd say $40 to $50 a month.
About $40 a month.
About $50 a month.
You could save $500 to $1,000 a year. That's why over 6 million people have already made the switch to Magic Jack. Start your savings today. Get Magic Jack at Radio Shack.
Half the fun of photography is just the adventure of getting there. The vibe out here is unbelievable. It just makes you appreciate how beautiful a place the world is. Have a look at it out here. Honestly, it is the most beautiful scene I've ever seen in my life. Really realise how insignificant you are. Life couldn't get any better.
Through the storm and beyond. The Weather Channel, the Winter Weather Authority. Now you're local on the 8s.
Time for a look at your weekly weather planner, and oh, what a weekend and work week it is going to be for so many of you, unless of course you have the whole week off leading up to Christmas, and I'm jealous if you do. Alrighty, well, we've got the rain and the snow, which is going to be coming on board in a major way for this weekend. Again, if you live in California, you want to try and get those errands done over the course of Saturday, because the weather is just going to get a lot worse during the second half of the weekend coming up on Sunday. In the east, we are still looking at temperatures, as you can see, in the northeast down into the 20s. You've certainly got that snowfall going along the areas around to the north of Syracuse and up towards Watertown. So lake effect snow machine is still very much ongoing here. You're finally getting your temperatures to moderate, and I know you've been enjoying that in Florida into the 70s, but get ready, because once that frontal system moves through, you say goodbye to the wet weather, but you also say goodbye to those 70s. But they're coming back, as you're clearly going to see. On Sunday, take a look at how active it is. And just over the course of this weekend, as we've been saying, you are going to be measuring your snowfall in feet, especially once you get into those higher elevations. Here's Florida, case in point. You're back into the 60s, of course, with that colder and drier air in place, and you're still going to be hanging out in the 60s as we get into Monday. So much of the eastern third of the country is going to stay relatively quiet, again, minus the lake effect snow machine, which is still going to be cranking up to the north of Syracuse. However, this continues to spread out. So we're going to see a lot more snowy weather across the plains, and that's going to make for more difficult driving, whether it is to the office or to the grocery stores, to get those errands done leading up to Christmas Day. We're still hanging on in the 70s across Southern California, but we're also still hanging on to the moisture. So again, it stays very, very wet. Texas, you are the place to be. Everybody's going to love this up. Temperatures spanning across the 70s and close to that 80-degree mark. So Houston residents are absolutely going to be dancing with joy. This is the place that you want to go to thaw out. I'll tell you what, if you are looking for more showery weather, some of you wanting to see that rain, some of you have maybe put bulbs in the ground that are hoping to see them coming up in the spring, you are going to get that across much of the mid-Atlantic, but also some icy conditions to come again across areas of Virginia. So, you know, I'm originally from Virginia, and I had a lot of friends who were literally telling me about ice skating in their parking lots around Virginia Beach and as well across Southwest Virginia, including my buddy Henry, who works at a radio station, WMUV. He had a tough time. Well, 50s is where you're going to be on Tuesday. You're still hanging out in the 20s across much of the Northeast. Florida, again, you are back into the 70s and probably quite happy to be there. Alrighty, if you want to take a look at your forecast, it's coming up right now. Local on the 8s. We'll be back.
What can I get for you? The Tassimo Brew Bot. 7 different beverages, one smart little bot.
Were you a procrastinator?
It's not too late. All day Friday and Saturday, get Countdown to Christmas doorbusters at Sears. These small kitchen appliances are only $9.99 after mail-in rebate. Save up to 70% on fine jewelry. Plus, this 42-inch Zenith plasma is only $429.99. Sears, be the Santa you want to be.
Great thing about the gift of cash, they can use it any way they want. Send $50 for just $5. And yes, everyone's happy.
Dry, cracked hands? Gold Bond Ultimate Concentrated Cream heals and protects like lotion can't. Gold Bond Concentrated Therapy. Real medicine. Ultimate healing. And to protect and repair cracked, damaged skin, try Gold Bond Concentrated Ointment.
For Tim and Richard Smucker, giving a gift of their delicious jam always made the holidays just a little bit sweeter.
We forgot to put our names on them. Richard, I think they'll know who it's from.
Thank you, boys.
You're welcome.
Happy holidays from our family to yours.
I love Christmas.
Let's raise a glass to raising oranges the natural way. Here's to growing oranges on our own soil, never importing them. Here's to orange juice raised right. The only major orange juice brand that's never imported. Florida's Natural.
Alrighty, it's time for a look at your 60-second forecast, and then we're going to get to your local on the 8s, I promise. Okay, so here's what we're looking at going through the day on Saturday. Of course, if you're going to be traveling in and around to the north of Syracuse, up Interstate 81, you are going to have a tough go, running into some lake effect snow showers. We've also got some really cold temperatures in and around Minneapolis with some light snowfall going throughout the day. And you could also see a little bit of light snow across areas like the UP of Michigan and once you get off to the north of Saginaw. So travelers up Interstate 75, you could also have a tough go again once you get into the northern edge of Michigan. We also continue to focus on travel across the south.